Hello, my name is Rory Rito, and I have been gifted the task to find a book or podcast that exactly 1 hour long to see what best shapes my career goals in the sports world. So, to begin on what are my specific types of goals I'm trying to reach within the sports world and make a career out of it, it would have to be in the realm of strength and conditioning, aka S&C. In the podcast, I have chosen to do this not exam, my apologies. This project on is by one of my favorite strength and conditioning coaches in North America, would have to be Garage Strength. He posted a 1 hour and 16-minute video that talks about what strength coaches get wrong about football and rugby with Sega Strength. Sega Strength is a Irish, yeah, very Irish-based lifting YouTube channel that also specializes in S&C. What they both share is that they both have a Olympic lifting background that consists of lifts that are considered dangerous, but they will build explosiveness if done properly. So I wrote down, I wrote down 5 things I like to talk about that in the S&C world. My apologies, a notification. Yeah, 6 things that commonly happen in the S&C world that some coaches get wrong, and I feel as though if I were to, what's we're looking for, lack of better words, kind of nail or add to my catalog of strength conditioning, I would become a better coach, and thus deepening my career path. So number one I put was, number one, many strength programs focus on the wrong goals. This is true. A lot of S&C coaches in the field always focus on getting the athlete strong as possible, explosive as possible. But what really matters is getting this athlete strong enough for their sport. For instance, if I think about a soccer player, I'm not trying to push his 1 rep squat max in the gym as much as possible, but I would like to push his, I'd say, 80 to RPE of 8 to, 3 maximum repetitions, because that better on a box squat, because that better correlates to basically a soccer player when they're on the field, and from weight room to play, they will be more fast twitch and explosiveness to go on those big breaks to follow the balls. Or for instance, a ballerina dancer. If I'm gifted the opportunity to train a ballerina dancer, I wouldn't necessarily put weightlifting as in the traditional style of bench press max, hex bar deadlift max, or even a SSB safety squat bar max squat. If anything, I'm doing balance on, like, with dumbbells on Bosu balls, or just in general to better her strength and holding herself in those elegant poses to, give her a better score through the judges. So I feel as though understanding the true goal on why I am currently making this strength conditioning program for the athlete to best cater to athletes so they can excel in their fields. Now, number 2, too many exercises in one workout. This happens a lot, and the thing I'm currently struggling with right now and my current journey in strength. A lot of people tend to think more is better. That's not necessarily true. We get that ideology from mainstream popularity. For instance, in the big lifting culture, the biggest, I'd say, category of lifting that is currently dominating popularity is bodybuilding, which in that case, it's true. High volume and low intensity thus inflames the muscles, just activating muscle hypertrophy will make you inflame. That does not mean the same thing for a football player. Football players need maybe 2 to 4 lifts, but they have to be very explosive and time under tension. So no, I'm not going to schedule a football player to do 1,000 reps for 300 pounds. If anything, I'm going to make him do 300 pounds for maybe 2 to 3 reps, but as fast as possible for 5 sets. So it's just all, you have to very categorize what exercises are needed within that workout to better help the athlete that is presented to you from practice to play. That is the number one goal as S&C coach. You can know all the knowledge in the world, but if you cannot correlate that to the athlete, there's no point. All that knowledge is wasted. Number 3, not enough sets for skill development. This is true. So now we must go on the opposite side of the coin. What I've just said, people will think, oh, well, since I'm a sumo wrestler or sport that relies on more strength than explosiveness. Therefore, I shouldn't put in the amount of volume. No, sir. You can also build endurance in the weight room. We must go on the opposite side of what I just said. It's great to know when to hold off, but sometimes it's okay to let an athlete every now and then. Let's say, for instance, you program clean and jerks and heavy back squats. After that, we might do one single-legged box jumps for 3 to 10 reps. But during those repetitions, we are currently teaching our bodies how to correlate within space while having a 300-pound guy go from a box jump that's off 10 inches back to the ground in 10 repetitions as fast as possible and switch legs. This builds this builds eye to feet coordination, which is good for big men in the field. And not even football players. I know I always bring up the example of football players because that is my main topic of study. And me being an ex-big man myself, I do enjoy learning more about the field I once had, but that is a past life that I've soon gave up on and have never gone back. But for instance, we even cater to sports that go more into detail when it comes to balance. Like, for instance, my example earlier for ballerina dancers. I wouldn't necessarily load them heavy with early on with in the workout. If anything, I'm going to do heaviness in the fact of balance, as in I'm going to put as much strain on your balance as much possible in any way, shape, or form to better make you understand how your body works under tension while under a load. So whenever the load is taken off and you're still in that position, you will have the strength built up to hold yourself and properly carry yourself. Now, number 4, strength training. My apologies. Strength training should transfer to sports performance. This is number 1. I've said this, I've been alluding to this within the first and second example, but number 4, that nails it on the dot. Like, no matter what, I don't care how strong you are, I don't care about your bench press, I don't care how big your squat is. If you cannot move on that field, you're useless. Let's call it facts. So why would I train my linemen like powerlifters? If anything, if I want to correlate them to a different sport, I'll treat them like shot putters or more Olympic athletes because they are explosive and known for moving heavier loads, which better correlates to them on the football field throwing around 300-pound men because they've thrown it around in the weight room multiple repetitions. So stuff like that, to where it's like the fate without work is dead. Well, strength conditioning without practice and actually playing the game is dead. Like the old phrase, to get better at football is to play football. You could do all this methodology on the side, do all this stuff, but if you do not have many repetitions on the field, there's no point. Don't even try going to the next level. Number 5, Olympic lifts are vulnerable for athletes. This is number 1. If anything, that's vulnerable for everybody. We aren't naturally born to snatch, clean and jerk, and squat jerk. If anything, we are meant to more capable of deadlifting and squat heavier. But due to the complexities of the Olympic lifts, such as clean, jerk, and snatch, it teaches us how to use our small, more stabilizing muscles to activate while under heavy load. And it teaches the athlete unknowingly how to use their body better and when to apply pressure. Like, for instance, in a clean and jerk, if I were to break that down, from the floor to the mid-knee, I'm thinking about just keeping tightness in my upper back because this is my strength point and gets basically telling my body, hey, we're about to catch a heavy load. Now, from mid-knee to hips into the double bounce or the double knee bend, commonly known in the CrossFitter community, I'm going to put all my effort in basically not deadlift the bar, but explosively squat the bar upwards, bouncing it off the top of my knees, and then throwing myself under the bar to catch it in the pit of the clean and standing back up. That sounds simple enough in terms, but practicing that out, that's extremely hard. Not to toot my own horn, but the most I've ever clean and jerked was 180, so that's around 405 pounds. And trust me, I didn't think about just yank as hard as I could off the ground. If anything, I told myself when to apply pressure off the ground, when to speed it up the bar to better launch the bar off my hips, to get under the bar and catch it and tell my muscles we're about to catch 400 pounds all at once. That, thank God, that went out. I did lose it within the stand-up, but I got under the bar and gave it a good fight. So, head on to number 6. Programming structure matters. The reason I put this at least because I feel as though this should be commonly known within the strength conditioning world. I could have the best program and structure known to all mankind, but if it does not fit my athlete's current, like their schedule, there's no point in having it. So I could have the skeleton teeth, whatever you need, but if you don't have time to work on it, oh well, tough luck. So being a strength conditioning coach, not only do you have to know the knowledge, but you must be able to adapt to people, is a better word. For instance, if I know that Rachel, a teacher of 15 years, has bad knees and is always moving, chasing around pre-K kids, I'd let me know that she gets her conditioning there. So whenever she comes to me and be like, Roy, I want to get stronger, okay, then since I know that your lifestyle, you're always ripping and running, you got your conditioning done, boom, fine. I'll just have to hammer in strength conditioning, well, the strength part of S&C, and not exactly, I'm not going to make a pre-K teacher 1 rep max. If anything, I'm going to teach her how to balance and basically help rehab her knees. Vice versa. If there's a construction worker who moves a lot of weight, but is always stagnant and doesn't move within, 30 feet, I know that he has all the strength he needs. Therefore, I will push conditioning onto him, thus making him rely on more cardio. If anything, if he wants to work out and he's dead set on lifting weights, cool. We're going to do like bodybuilder style, low intensity, but high repetition and volume. I am very passionate about this, and so I might have lingered on a little too long, but I want to thank you for listening to me ramble on, and I hope you are satisfied with what I have offered. Thank you. Take care.